गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज चर रञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज चर रञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारि पुनतीरावनचारि जय राधा माधवा जय कुञ्जरी बिहारी राधा माधव राधा माधव राधा जय जगन्नाथा जय बालदेवा सुभद्रमयी जय सुदर्शन जय गंधर्विक गिरिधारी गौरहर जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय राधा रमण राधा रमण राधे जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव जय लक्ष्मी वरगदे लक्ष्मी वरगदे लक्ष्मी वरगदे जय लक्ष्मी वरगदे जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेव ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृतं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं तदोदयमुत् नक्तप्राये सुभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिभवन्ति नैष्टिके कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं भङ्गं लङ्घयते गिरियते चापतमकं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतां परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees for Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we will be reciting on the, I seek blessing from all the devotees so that I can speak Bhagavatam in Parampara, so for the pleasure of Krishna and the devotees and my own purification. Today we will be reciting on the sloka number, first canto, 18th chapter, Parishit Maharaj, cursed by the Brahmana boys. Sloka number is 48. You can recite that along with me. Kraskrita vipalalambaha saptaha sipta hata api nashyatat prakrutami pratikurvanti tat bhakta prabhavopihi Kraskrita vipalalambaha sapta sipta hata api nashyatat pratikurvanti tat bhaktaha prabhavo abhihi Kraskrita vipralabhaha sapta sipta hata api nashyatat pratikurvanti tat bhaktaha prabhavo abhihi. Word by word meaning. Tratakritaha, being defamed. Vipralambaha, being cheated. Sapta, being cursed. Siptaha, disturbed by negligence. Hataha, or even being killed. Api, also, na, never. Asya, for all those acts. Tat, them. Pratikurvanti, counteract. Tat, the Lord. Bhaktaha, devotee. Prabhavo, powerful. Api, although. He, certainly. Translation and purport by His Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The devotee of the Lord are so forbearing that even though they are defamed, cheated and cursed, disturbed, neglected or even killed, they are all never inclined to avenge themselves. Purport. Rishi Shamikrishi also knew that the Lord does not forgive a person who has committed an offense at the feet of the devotee. Lord can only direct to take shelter of the devotee. He thought within himself that if Maharaj Parikshit would countercurse the boy, he might be saved. But he knew also that the pure devotees call us about the worldly advantage and our reverse. As such, a devotee are never inclined to counteract personal defamation, curse or negligence, etc. As far as such things are concerned, in personal affairs, the devotee do not care for them. But in the case of they are being performed against the Lord and his devotee, then the devotee take very strong action. It was the personal affair, and therefore Samik Rishi knew that the king would not take counteract. Thus there was no alternative than to place an appeal to the Lord for the immature boy. It is not only that it is not that only the Brahmanas are powerful enough to award curse or blessing upon this ordinance. The devotee of the Lord, even though he may not be a Brahmana, he is more powerful than Brahmana. A- But a powerful devotee never misuse the power for personal benefit. Whatever power the devotee may have is always utilized in the service towards the Lord and his devotee only. I learned that water. So the window closed. Nice is window closed. Nice. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjalakalakya Chakshurumilistamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Swapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Tadam Visham Padamtyam Vandeham Shri Guru Srivata Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagardatam Sagana Raghunatam Tatam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sagana Lalita Shri Visakamcha He Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopeshta Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Haripre Vanchakalpadirubhacha Kripa Sundevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vachari Gautama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Pangajanabhaya Namo Pangajamaline Namo Pangajanetraya Namaste Pangajangriye Hare Krishna. Welcome once again for Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. It's a very interesting sloka, nectarian of the verse. So today we'll be reciting, we'll be detailed discussion about first canto, 18th chapter, sloka number 48. So here a lot of lesson for the devotee to understand and adopt in our life. So let's move on. The devotee is so tolerant. Devotee doesn't want to take revenge against the other people. So this is very this thing. This is the greatest of the devotee. Although the devotee sometimes may take action against the wrongdoer according to the necessity, just to bring the transformation to the wrongdoer. Still, the devotee at heart doesn't take any revenge, doesn't have envy or grudge against the wrongdoer. Devotee heart is filled with compassion and mercy, kindness, but does not want to take revenge against other person. Even he happen to punish a wrongdoer, even happen to take action against a wrongdoer, it's only the cause welfare to them. It is in the mood of doing well wisher. Otherwise, all personal inconvenience, all personal insult, devotee incurred to tolerate. This is a specific nature of the exalted devotee. Parikshit Maharaj cursed to die in 7 days. He didn't take any revenge against Ringi. Chitrakuta Maharaj was cursed by Mother Parvati to become a demon. Still, Chitraketu did not take any revenge or justify. He accepts the curse, being tolerant, being forgiven. Being forgiven doesn't mean that a person or a devotee just wants to exploit by other devotee. So that we have to understand. Forgiveness doesn't mean that he has been exploited by other people. The devotee doesn't develop any grudge or envy towards the wrongdoer also. Although the devotee take an action externally, rectify the situation and rectify the mentality of wrongdoer, devotee do it without envy and grudge in his heart. Hare Krishna. So these are the points, very important points we have, how a devotee has to behave and how they are behaving also. They will not take the any revenge for the, or they will not take any action if it's the insult for personal. If it is for the Lord or Lord devotee, then they will take the action to correct the person who is making them mischief. So this verse was spoken by Sutta Goswami, glorifying the pure devotee of the Lord. There are always tolerating. This is a quality of a devotee. SrimadBhagavatam, third canto, also Kapila says that the first quality of devotee is a tolerance. So we have to be a very good tolerant. Rishi Samikri Rishi begged pardon from the Lord, explaining in the previous sloka also. What did the Lord do? He can give a direction to take shelter of the devotee to whom he offended. This is a very good point to understand that. Example is Durvasa Muni when he offended Amrish Maharaj, and immediately Lord Vishnu sent the Sudarshan Chakra to kill the Asura. And the Sudarshan Chakra did not stop there itself. It started chasing the Durvasa Muni. Initially, Durvasa Muni went to Surgoloka, taken a shelter of Indra, but Indra couldn't able to rescue him. Then he went to various upper planets. Finally, he reached the Vishnu Loka, and he asked Vishnu to protect him. But Vishnu said that I am the I am the completely subordinate of my pure devotees. So if at all you want to relief, you can get a relief by the pardon from the Amrish Maharaj. So to whom you have offended. So Vishnu is clearly explaining that you should take a forgiveness from the Amrish Maharaj. From there he came all the way from Vishnu Loka to earthly planet and taken asked pardon from the Amrish Maharaj, whom he had offended, to get rid of the offenses. So this is a lesson for that. So what exactly going to happen? Forgive people not for them, that is for us only. So SrimadBhagavatam also offer prayer. In the SrimadBhagavatam, Brahma offer a prayer to Krishna in a Brahma Vimoha Leela also we can see that he is glorifying the Lord. My dear Lord, those who are your pure devotee, whoever they are facing any danger in this material world, only dangers are happening in this material world, or defaming, difficulty, or some insult, anything, that pure devotee faces this, he considers it is the mercy of the Krishna. A pure devotee doesn't think, I am a pure devotee, so I am a pure devotee, dedicated person, surrendered to Krishna. Why does Krishna doesn't prevent me from suffering? They will not think like that. Pure devotee always think that let me gladly suffer whatever the difficulty, danger and misery, anything situation. Let me tolerate suffering from this tolerance. Because pure devotee thinks actually I deserve to suffer much more for my past misdeed. But Krishna is so kind to me that he is not given me the punishment, the proper punishment which is due for me for my misdeeds. I am not getting Chandra Jagannath Baldev Lakshmi Narsimha, Lakshmi Ananta Radharaman. But I am getting a small token of what I deserve to get. This is what the Krishna's mercy upon me. This is what devotee thinks. So devotee thinks that whatever suffering he is getting, it's a small, tiny is from the what exactly he is supposed to get. So he never thinks that okay, why I am suffering. So devotee considers two things in his thing. If it is self-affected, he just taken it as a mercy of he just ignores it. If it is affected to the Lord or Lord's devotees, then he counteract on that, or he punishes them. So here, here also, Samik Rishi has understood that there is no point in going asking pardon from the Parishit Maharaj, because he is not going to taken the offense as a personal. Sorry, he has taken the offense as a personal, and he will not take any revenge against the Sringi. So only chance is that, but Lord will not spare him. So Samik Rishi decided that he went to ask the pardon from the Lord Vishnu itself. Therefore, here the Parikshit Rishi is also Kshatriya. Generally, Kshatriyas, they are subordinate of Brahmanas. But in case of Kshatriya being a pure devotee, he is more powerful than a qualified Brahmana. Pure devotee is more powerful than in the entire creation, more powerful than the demigods, Brahma, Jnanis, Tapasyas, all kind of the people. So we cannot underestimate a pure devotee. They are more powerful than, but they will not use their power for personal benefit. They will use for their Lord's service, where if the Lord is offended or Lord's devotee is offended. Another example from the Ramayana, that Hanuman burnt Lanka. We heard it, okay, because Ravana blasphemed the Lord Rama. The incident happened that when Hanuman went to Lanka, he wanted to see the strength of the Ravana. So he went around and somehow they catch out of him and they'll take him in front of Ravana. Initially Ravana was blaspheming Hanuman. Hanuman was tolerant and he was very quiet. When he started blaspheming Rama, immediately Hanuman got wild and he started putting fire. The entire half of the Lanka was burnt out. So this is how the devotee exhibit his anger and exhibit his tolerance. Devotees are more merciful against the offender of the Lord, his devotee, but not for himself. So counteracting against himself, they will not execute it. So this is a lesson we have to learn it. So even the recent time when the Prabhupada period also, Mr. Nayar's Bombay temple, Radha Bigari temple, land issue, the entire whole episode, Srila Prabhupada considered Mrs. Nayar as his own daughter. So Satru Swami Maharaj was saying that before even laying the foundation for the temple, Srila Prabhupada laid the foundation for the behavior of a sadhu. He exhibited a quality of a sadhu. This is how we have to be. We should be very tolerant to the people. Haridas Thakura was being beaten in 32 marketplaces. In all the cases, the devotee of the Krishna, they were never tried to do for that, never taken a revenge. The bodily concept people, generally they take the revenge. They are exactly opposite of devotees. So Prabhupada says that SrimadBhagavatam means it's a conscious of Krishna, conscious of the devotee of the Krishna. If you want to derive in one line what SrimadBhagavatam is, it is the consciousness of Krishna and the devotee. The consciousness of devotee is exhibited in various places in the SrimadBhagavatam. example is the Vitrasura. So addressing the Lord in his glorification, that Samanjesa, that means the sources of all opportunity. God has a capacity to satisfy any desires of Vitrasura. So Lord is unlimited. Many classes we heard about that. He can satisfy whatever desire. That is especially Vitrasura, because he is a pure devotee. But Vitrasura says, I don't desire heaven, or Dhiruvaloka or Brahmaloka. Even the lower planet, okay, the Yoga Siddhis and the Sagitya Mukti also. He is not asking anything material things. So SrimadBhagavatam also says about the Vaikuntha planet, there are so many aeroplanes are there. The aeroplanes are made out of gold, diamond and precious gems and all. So all the aeroplanes are obtained solely to worship of their Lordship. So they will utilize this aeroplane for the service of the Lordship. In material world, politician, for the facility, personal usage, they'll take that all aeroplanes, fly in the aeroplane, executive class. So they'll use it for that. This is how we can compare with the earthly planet to the Vaikuntha planet. Because yesterday was Vaikuntha, let us hear how Vaikuntha will be. Vaikuntha planet, no, there are beautiful damsels, beautiful women are there. The bodily features are very beautiful. Their sweet smiles and sweet, very attractive glances. But men in the Vaikuntha planet, no, they are surrounded by the opulence of the Vaikuntha and all the beautiful women, but their mind is absorbed in Krishna. They are not admired by all these opulence of beautiful women there. So this is the mood of the Vaikuntha planet means. The facility for enjoyment was there. Completely freedom was also given to them. But still they did not exercise their freedom and enjoy it. So this is how we have, as a brahmacharis, has to understand from this Bhagavatam points. Whoever you will be you will be surrounded by so many Matajis and all, but you should engage your mind for the Krishna so that you can come out of, you will not get attracted by opulences or women. So Parikshit Maharaj also similarly, he has have power to counteract. He didn't do it. Vitrasura got opportunity to obtain the material opulences. Lord is ready to give. He didn't accept it. Vaikuntha planet, there is a freedom of resource for all enjoyment. Capacities were there, but all the men were not bothered about that. So all the three cases, devotees are not utilizing the opulences to ask for some material benefit. So all these things are material benefit, they are not looking at it. Because how it is possible? Because the reason behind it, the mind was absorbed in Krishna. So we have to observe in Krishna. Today's Japa section also was Balram Prabhu was, Maharaj was saying that if you hear, our ear is like a empty vessel. Whatever you are putting, it will be filled with that. So when you hear the Krishna Kathas, it will be filled with it. So that's how your mind gets absorbed in that. When Ashwatthama released the Brahmastra, Krishna was Ameya Atma, who is inconceivable form, protection of Dharma, affectionate towards the devotees. He is Hari, destroyer of Brahmastra. So it's all the glorification of what Krishna is talking. When the child Parikshit was looking immediately, but Krishna was disappeared. Here Hari means the thief. So what is stolen in the womb, dark place of a womb of a mother Uttara, when Parikshit was inside, he steal the mind of Parikshit Maharaj and disappeared. It's a very good point to understand. Why Parikshit did not react is his mind is already stolen by Krishna. Because Krishna, although he could counteract the Sringi, because his mind was stolen and fixed with Krishna, his mind was not affected by the his mind was not affected by the feeling of the revenge. So he didn't feel as a revenge because his mind is not with him, it's with Krishna. He did not counter curse. The quality was exhibited by Maharaj Parikshit is the quality of forgiveness. So that we have to understand. So how nicely is that? This quality is also, you can see it in the speaker of Bhagavatam, SrimadBhagavatam, and hearer of SrimadBhagavatam. SrimadBhagavatam was spoken by Bhagavan. So you may ask that when did Bhagavan spoke? We heard about Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Lord Krishna in the Kurukshetra thing. Then when did Bhagavatam, Krishna was spoken the Bhagavatam. So here the witness from the Bhagavatam, it says that Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken by Bhagavan directly to the sages for removing the suffering of conditioned souls who has fallen in the greatest distress by the seeking the insignificant happiness. So why why Krishna is telling to sages means the sages are feeling that fallen souls are suffering, okay, in the distress for insignificant happiness. That small happiness what we are getting in the material world, for that they are suffering unlimitedly. So for that the sages felt bad and they are asking Bhagavan to speak on that. When did it happen? One the sages headed by Sanatana Kumara being a philosophically inquisitive. So he was so interested to understand the philosophy. They asked a question to Lord Shankarshana. The Shankarshana was staying below the Patala. He was there. So, and he was in meditation with the Lord Vishnu, Vasudeva. So, these sages, no, along with Sanatana, they were in the Satya Loka. Satya Loka is the topmost planet, and Sanatana Shankarshana was there below the Patala. So, there was those days to hear Bhagavatam, they have to travel from Satya Yuga to where the Lord present. So they were traveled all the way to that. After the COVID, in fact, nowadays people don't even come to temple to hear Bhagavatam because all are available in the internet. So we become day by day lazy. But earlier days, it is not that. To hear Bhagavatam, they have to travel from one place to other place. And even we are aware of that when Parikshit Maharaj was hearing from Bhagavatam, that time there is no speaker, mic and all, and no internet, WhatsApp, everything. But hearing that Maharaj, Raja Rishis going to hear Bhagavatam and Sukadeva Goswami going to speak, the entire planetary universe, all the sages assembled in the Naimisharanyas to hear that. This is how the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam was taken. The sages are glorifying how it has happened. The sages are glorified Shankarshana with a flattering word and filled with love. So whenever, as a morning, Maharaj also was saying that in the Japa class, that how to hear. We have to submissively to ask the question and you will get that the Guru will reveal his secrets. So that's how they are asking that Shankarshana spoke Srimad Bhagavatam to Sanatana Kumaras, headed of sages, and Sanatana Kumara spoke Srimad Bhagavatam to Sankhya Rishi. The Sankhya Rishi, he spoke to Parasara Rishi. Parasara being blessed by the Pulastara, he became the speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. He thought that Parasara Rishi is the guru of Maitri Rishi. So now the Maitri Rishi and this whole episode comes in Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, where Vidura was asking question to Maitri Rishi questions, and for that Maitri Rishi referring this Bhagavatam and explaining that what he heard from his guru Parasara Rishi. So how Parasara Rishi got the Bhagavatam? Parasara Rishi father was killed by a demon. So he performed a sacrifice to kill all the demons. So similar to what Parikshit Maharaj's son was doing it. Janmejaya, to kill all the snakes, birds. Similarly, Parasara Rishi also started a yagna sacrifices to kill the demon. But on the request of the Vasistha, Parasara Rishi stopped the sacrifices, and Pulastara Rishi is the father of the demons, become pleased and he gave blessing to Parasara Rishi, may you become the speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. Even to sit in a Vyasanasana, to speak about Bhagavatam, has to be blessed by his guru. He should be blessed. Then only anyone can speak about Bhagavatam. So now you understand how great Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam is. It's very important for the devotee to understand how great a speaker, how great the listener also. When a Parasara Rishi gave up the revenge, all the demons, then he got the blessing and qualified to become a speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. So first you should give up your revenges. So retaliating. So for the insult or whatever happens in your life, then you get a qualification. Here Parishit Maharaj gave the revenge towards Sringi. So similarly Parishit also, he gave up the revenge against the Sringi. He could completely observe in the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. He was going on hearing. So it's very important. Therefore Sukadeva Goswami addressed the Parishit in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the 8th canto. So in the 8th canto, say that who is the cursor of, who can conquer the enemy? The enemy means here the internal enemy, especially enemy of the revenge towards Sringi. So we have to understand the enemy is not the external enemy, people, it is the enemy of revenge, which is within our heart. Because he could control, conquer the internal enemy, he could observe in Srimad Bhagavatam. It's very important for the listeners. So first we qualification of a speaker we understood from this episode. Now we are understanding even the listener should not have the envy. He should be free from the envy. Then that he is conquered that internal enemy, so that he can observe in Srimad Bhagavatam. Many times people come sit in the Bhagavatam class, they will be chatting in mobile, or they will be disturbed by so many things because they are not observed. They did able to control the internal enemy to them. So we have to learn lesson as a devotee from this episode. The forgiveness is the strength of a weak, and it is a ornament of a strength. So forgiveness is very important. It is the strength. That's what earlier also we said that the forgiveness gives it is forgiveness people not for them, but it is for us only. It is not for the others. So first we have to forgive. Forgiveness is the strength of our weakness, and it is the ornament. So even the sages used to forgive. When Parishit exhibits forgiveness, he can conquer the entire world. What cannot be achieved by forgiveness? So we can achieve everything by giving forgiveness to others. Radhanath Maharaj also very nicely he gave a quote: forgiveness is the fragrance of a rose. Even somebody stamp on the rose, still the rose gives the fragrance. Similarly, at Vaishnava exhibit a forgiveness even if someone is offended them. So this is the lesson for the devotees. It's easy to we are speaking so much about forgiveness, and but in practical life it is not that easy. In our life, emotions are very strong. Our emotions are very strong, like a tail of a dog. It's bent. If you try to hold the dog's tail for 1 hour, 2 hours, or even years together, after once you relieve, the tail will again come back to curved shape. Similarly, oftentimes our emotions are like that. Internally, we try to convince that I should not get negativity feeling. So we try to tell our mind that okay, I should not get negativity. But again, it goes back to negativity. When something happens to the personally, then we react to the practice. So how practically we can apply for forgiveness? The practical application of forgiveness is we may forgive a person who has committed certain mistake towards us. So we have saw that. So we might have given that. Unless the person is forgive completely and repentant completely. First he has to repentant completely. We can't trust him. So till he repentant, we should not trust him. There are three things we have to understand from the forgiveness. Point number one, forgive but don't trust the person, because if he is not, I'll tell you that wording, sir, very nice. If he is not completely refined himself and reform himself, so he should feel that, okay, I have done the mistake. So like Parikshit Maharaj, when he went back to the palace, he started repenting for the mistake happened. So similarly, if somebody is not repentant for his thing, and also changes happening in his thing, we should not trust. Till then, we should not trust. Point number two, forget when a person completely reform. That's what here say that. Unless one person is repentant on oneself, we may forgive a person. When a person completely, when we can forgive him is only if he rectify himself and reform himself, we may forgive him. And last one is, and forget also, we can also forgive them and forget the incident also. So this is the second category. The third category is, we should give forgiveness by punishment in the mood of compassion. Also, sometimes people beyond certain boundary, at that time we should give punishment. So even punishment also is one kind of forgiveness only. Why we should punish them? Like example of Shishupalaka, when he is going on blaspheming Krishna in the assembly, at one point Krishna kills him, and in the form of punishment, but in the mood of compassion. So Prithviraj can, in this Indian history also, Prithviraj Chauhan, he forgave the Gauri Muhammad. So later Gauri Muhammad attacked him and killed Prithviraj Chauhan. The Muslim invented India. This is the first changes happened. The small mistake by the king changed the history of India. So king should be very careful about that, whom to forgive and trust. So as a devotee, we have to apply the forgiveness in three stages. One is forgive, don't trust him. Second is forgive if he is refined and if he is rectified and reform himself, then you can forgive and forget it. The third stage is, you should give punishment so that no, he will change, means for his elevation purpose. That also detail we can go through. So Parikshit Maharaj exhibit forgiveness. We have seen in the point of forgiveness, point of a Krishna. In Mahabharata, Bhishma Dev also tells the story. This is a nice story. Bhishma Dev tells a story to Yudhishthira Maharaj about how a king behaves. Okay, there was in the bird called Punjani, and the king name is Brahma Datta, and the place is Kampilia is the place where the king and the citizen were happily living. The bird was built a small nest on the terrace in the courtyard, and after the bird got pregnant and she delivered a baby bird. Same time, the queen also delivered a baby son. Both are happily living, and the bird used to travel for a very far place, and she brings a nice two fruits daily, and one fruit she will give to her baby and one fruit to the king's son. So both are growing happily. One day the king's son, while playing, accidentally he killed the baby bird, and that's the time when the mother bird also enters the palace, and she saw that her baby is killed. She got very morose, and she took a revenge and going and she plucked the eyes of the king's son. So, and she was very upset and she started flying. So that is the time king also entered the palace and he saw the whole, his son was eyes bleeding and eyes was taken out by the bird. Then king asked the bird, why did you do this? He said that your son killed my baby bird, so for that I removed I plucked the eyes of the son. Then immediately king said that, okay, my son did a mistake and you also punished him. So it is equal. Don't leave the palace, please stay back. Then the bird says that there is no friendship, affection, dearness expected from the state administrator or politician. It's a very good point. Sometimes Kshatriyas may counsel others, but they counsel others for their own self. You can take typical our all politicians. They talk something on a face and behind the mind something else will happen. Okay, so this is what Bhagavatam itself is already told, how the administrators, politicians behaves. Once the work is done, they throw them dependents mercilessly. So whenever election comes, they'll promise, yes, I will give this, I will give that. Once election is over, they will throw everybody, they will not honor their words. They often badmouth at everyone. So they often work against the saintly souls while exhibit the affection, while showing externally affection. So even for the saintly people, no, externally they show affection, but internally cruelty will be there. This is a politician's behavior. Therefore, bird say that I can't trust you. Even the bird understood it. Okay. So the king said that, okay, you have relieved my son from the bad karma. Very powerful point he is throwing. Because when you tit for tat, when you react with the offender, then the offender karma is gone. Earlier class also we told that. That's why we should not immediately react to the problems. So king is underlining the point. You are already relieved my son's karma. Now I am even considered an offense as an offense. So please don't leave this. So don't leave, please stay. But the bird says that only foolish people trust the Kshatriyas, try to console them. So bird very smartly says that only foolish will trust the king who is consoling. Because just now we told they console it for their own benefit. And whatever they are doing for externally, for internally, the mind is bad. Once they come into the shelter of Kshatriya, Kshatriya will show the real face because they can't forget the mistake done by others even very long time. See the quality of Kshatriya. Bhishma says to H.G.Murari. They will wait for the other person to come to the shelter. Once that comes to the shelter, they will show their face. So that's what that election is, that politician is, so that all the citizens will go to their shelter, they will take it for granted and they will show their face after the election. So this is democracy. Yesterday, a couple of days back also, last week we were discussing about democracy country and monastic ruling. Then in the king throws the next point. Okay, king said that I don't consider you are a doer. I consider the time factor as a doer. So please don't leave it, stay back. The mother bird says that time factor is a doer, then why did you Kshatriyas avenge against the enemies? So always they go fight, no? Why you are doing it? When your brothers are killed, why don't you exhibit the same philosophy? When it's near and dear is killed in some means, why are you going and fighting with your enemy for the revenge? So he said that for this reason, I will not trust you. So the bird is smartly putting the answer to the question. Then king thinking one more time. You are exhibiting lack of trust. Now king is telling that you are lacking. With this kind of lack of trust, you can't function in this world. This world you can hear even in this material world, even the devotee community or devotee interacting with outsiders. They say that you should trust us, especially the sales people, marketing people, not to cheat others. They will use this word. So then this is a lesson for us also how smartly we should react if such somebody is trying to cheat you. With this kind of lack of trust, you can't function in this world. You are having weakness. Please trust people. Bird said that, okay, somebody's both the legs are wounded. If someone walking on that leg, is this the wound will get cured? No, because you are more damaging. Now both of us are enemies. You are also enemy, I am also enemy. And especially you are a Kshatriya. Therefore, better that I keep distance from you. I can't trust you. The bird flown away. Beautiful story by our Bhishma Dev explaining to our Yudhishthira Maharaj. This is a lot of lesson we have to learn from this bird, mother bird, as well as the points thrown by the king or politician. Because this is how people getting trapped in this material world and getting cheated again and again. So here one point is that we use the word Bhagavatam, it says administrator, but it gives a wrong impression. But actually the meaning of this administrator is the administrative Vaishnava, Vaishya Tattva is higher than the administrator of that person one can confine. So you can accept if the administrative Vaishnava Tattva is bigger. Like Parikshit Maharaj is above the king, he is Vaishnava. Okay. If the administrator Vaishnava Tattva is lower than his attitude, being administrator, one has to be careful about him. So if he is talking, he is not a devotee, he is not having devotee of Krishna, and whatever he promises, don't trust. So politicians, many of them not the devotee, they are not favorable, so don't trust it. Therefore, why we discuss this story is, in our episode also, Parikshit Maharaj was a Kshatriya, but his quality being a Vaishnava is coming, his forefront. He is exhibiting Vaishnava qualities for forefront. Kshatriya not exhibited. He is not showing us a Kshatriya exhibition. The Subhava of Kshatriya is can't forget the mistake for a long time. So Kshatriya means he is always remembering it. If some mistake happens, he will take revenge. For Parikshit Maharaj, Vaishnava qualities coming forefront. It's a very, very important point. So, whom as a devotee, we have other day our Chandra was telling that he got a message from another devotee saying that don't trust anybody. So that's not that's a blanket definition. But Bhagavatam says is you should trust a devotee who is exhibit a Vaishnava quality forefront first. Then you can trust such people. But people not others. So this is a message for us. So Parikshit Maharaj, why did Parikshit Maharaj give up his body? This also people will back of the mind will say, why he has to give up? What a quality. The discussion of Parikshit Maharaj accepted the curse Singhi is going to benefit the whole world externally. So he accepted the death because of his sacrifice and the SrimadBhagavatam taken birth. The SrimadBhagavatam appears in of important improper guest reception. Why it has happened is Sringi Samiki Rishi did not give a proper reception. Because of that, whole episode is started. He accepted the curse of Sringi to die in 7 days. He accepted the curse in the form of a Krishna, make me to renounce. So, as a exalted devotee, he takes any curse as a prasad of Lord Krishna. He gave that. So, he said that it's will of the Lord. The same Parikshit Maharaj have given the reception to Krishna's Katha. So how he has given reception? He welcomed it. He has given the asana to Sukadeva Goswami. He sat down and started listening. Parikshit Maharaj says, I have given up water and drinking, but I don't think that I am very weak. I am tired. Because the Krishna Katha spoken by you, I'm getting lot of energy. I'm not feeling thirsty. Please go on speaking. So it is the pure devotee speaker who is giving Krishna Katha. When you hear, observe in Krishna Katha, you will not be affected by thirst or hunger. So this is another message. How we have to hear the Krishna Katha for as the message of the devotee. That comes to the point of quality of forgiveness is very important. We will take that Vedanta Dekshigar. He is a disciple of Ramanujacharya, very great person. So he is telling that Paduka of Krishna, or Paduka of Rama, or Paduka of Ranganath, okay, what is the quality? The Paduka of Krishna has a quality to forgive all the offenses, mistakes committed by others. That's a very, very strong message. The Paduka is of Krishna is a personification. We know that Ganga is a personification, Tulasi is a personification. Similarly, even the Paduka of Krishna is a personification. His duty is to forgive. So coming back to the story of Ramayana, why Rama gave the Paduka to send back to Ayodhya? We think that when Bharata came, that story, when Bharata came, he will ask Rama to come back. He said, instead of me coming, take my Paduka and keep it in, no, he will not say, but Bharata says that, give me that your Paduka, so I'll keep it in the asana and I will rule the government. I'll sit down and do it. So we know that part, but we don't know that why Paduka, Rama has to give that. Here the Rama says that if I have appeared in this world to kill Ravana, that is a mission. But the Paduka of Rama can forgive any offenses. That means he forgives. No. So Paduka of the personification of forgiveness, if this Paduka is with me, then Paduka will not allow me to kill Ravana. See how interconnection is so beautiful. Because if Paduka is there, he cannot kill Ravana. So he sent back the Paduka. I sent the Paduka back to Ayodhya so that I can accomplish my mission of killing Ravana. So what great Acharya is giving the so much of message. Yesterday when I was hearing, I was so jubilant. Why we are taking Paduka on our head daily, every day, so much. It's his forgiveness. If personification forgiveness is on the red, so whatever sin we did we are getting clean. So nice of it. So that I accomplish my mission. So Parikshit give up the urge to angry. So then comes why he has given the urge to angry is our Rupa Goswami says Vacho Vegam. In the next instruction he says Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. It's a beautiful sloka. It's very important for the devotee to understand it. He mentioned that Krodha Vegam apart from the Manasa Vegam. So Manasa Vegam also there. Why he is separate Krodha Vegam in that? The mind is a root cause for all Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, all these 6 offenses. Krodha is already included in Manasa. It is come from mind only. Then why he is separated? One of the state of mind is anger. So we get angry. Manasa Vega includes Krodha Vega. So Rupa Goswami state that Krodha Vega apart from the Manasa Vega because he is giving a special importance to Krodha Vega. So he is underlining it. The Krodha Vega is very important. Krodha means anger. The Krodha is more destructive. If somebody is anger, no. Sometime back in our class, we were taken the entire class for that type of anger, how to control anger, what are the consequences of anger is there. So Krodha is a destructive. The more than Kama, Lobha of any other, all other offenses, the anger destroys is the topmost. There is no misdeed than an anger soul personally engaged It, so a person making, there is nothing more than the person who's under the anger. So the Krodha Vega can lead a Vacha Vega, Manasa. From here it starts, all the things. Vacha Vega, Manasa Vega, Jigya Vega, and other Vega. All kind of Krodha is included in Manasa Vega. The Parishit Maharaj controlled Vacha Vega. It's very important. First he controlled the Vacha Vega. How he didn't speak when any harsh words towards Stringi, Samik Rishi, when he not responded to his request. Whereas Stringi, if you see, before even seeing what had happened, he heard from his friends, his father is killed by king. He started using all abusive words, very harsh word he used it. But Parishit Maharaj, he controlled the Vacha Vega. He controlled the Manasa Vega. He didn't have a feeling of taking revenge towards Stringi. So he didn't take it. That he controlled his mind. And Krodha Vega, he didn't anger towards Stringi. He was cool. When he heard that he is going to die in 7 days, he was very cool. He didn't anger. Jiva Vega and Udara Vega. So he completely controlled the hunger and the thirst. And Upasa Vega, so no question of it. He is already renounced and everything is done, renounced it. He controlled all Vegas. He went and he is looking for a guru. In that sloka, if someone is control all the Vegas, then he become the guru. So that is very good. Nectar of instruction, we heard it. So that we are comparing with how it is applicable in the Parishit Maharaj. If one control all Vegas, he become guru of all the world. He become eternally for the principle of Shravana. There are 12 Mahajanas in that Shravana for Parishit Maharaj. Example. He is a guru for that. So he is a guru for the principle of Shravana. He did not went to looking for a disciple. Generally, once you say that you are promoted as a guru, he would say that, oh, these are my devotees, the disciples. So that is material world. When somebody starts wearing saffron dress, they say that, please come, I am the guru, you are all my disciples. Good old days, when the first time, when we did the Janmashtami festival in Puram, no? Just before that, there was one guru came to here, the material guru, and he simply gave Diksha to all the Vasi of Puram. So there are some devotees to come to our class, they never used to chant in our beats. Then we asked them, what happened? Why you are not using our beats and telling Hare Krishna Mahamantra? No, I took the Diksha from the one guru came. No, he gave, he wholesale, he gave all the disciples Diksha. Okay? Asking everybody, sit down. I have given Diksha, today, now onwards, you are all my disciples. So, this is the thing. So, how beautifully SrimadBhagavatam says to us, lesson for us. When somebody is promoted as a guru, he is looking for, where is my disciple? But here, the real guru, Parishit Maharaj, is a guru for the Shravana. He is not looking for disciple, he is looking for the guru. Okay, that is a message for us. Because he control all Vegas, he become guru for all the devotees. How to hear Krishna Katha. So this is a lesson we have to learn. Without controlling Vegas, if a person looking for a follower, it may ultimately become a fatal affair. One may get followers. So now also it is a lesson for the devotees. Okay, you are undergone the crash course of Bhagavad Gita, then you are asked to put it to disabled teachers training. All this come, then you say that okay, you are promoted as preacher. They go on, start giving gyan. But what qualification as a speaker should have? The speaker should have control his all Vegas. Otherwise, he simply accept. Nothing but accepting, no. When he is going preaching means he is calling some 10 neighbors, come, sit down, I am the guru, I am giving gyan of Bhagavad Gita. No. He says that you may get people, but it is a fatal result. One may get followers, one will not be able to maintain the followers. That's how always the fall down. everybody ran away. Here Parishit Maharaj exhibit this quality, so we have to give up the Vegas. Parishit, it's all included by himself also I should. This is a very good message Parishit Maharaj telling us. Parishit Maharaj exhibit the stability one's consciousness even in agitation. We have to learn. Whatever situation, we should be stability should be maintained. Stability means calm. He remains undisturbed even though there is a disturbance, reason for disturbance also there. Because he has been cursed to die in 7 days, it's a disturbance. Whole state come to know that people are all disturbed. Maharaj going to die. He called immediately his son. All sages came. Sometime back we explained how coronated his son, and because his son is small, so Brahmanas were managing it. Okay. So here Vallabhacharya in his book Vivek Dhairya Ashriya, Viveka Dhairya Ashriya, in that book he said that one should actually tolerate missionary in one's life, misery of one should actually tolerate misery in one's life, remembering the example of a queen who sold buttermilk. So this is a nice story from this book. And also Janabharata, we have a nice story, how we have to be calm, and also Gopis of Vrindavan. So these are the 3 example stories are available in for us to understand how a disturbance state, how we should be calm. There was a lady having an affair with a lover. So end up in getting married to a king. So she got somehow she got married to a king. But our lover, no, he said that you kill that king and take away all the wealth, let us run away. So she also accepted, okay, this is a nice idea. That after the marriage, that night, she gave poison to the king and king dies. She takes all the jewels, she ran with the lover. In the, while traveling, they passed through the forest. There, the lover was bitten by a snake and he dies. So she lost all the things. She was hanging around. She can't go back to kingdom because people know that she only killed. So finally, she ended up into become a prostitute in some other place, and she was going on entertaining the customer. One day she saw a person, and after the enjoyment, when the person was leaving, she asked it, "Who are you? It looks like a familiar face." He said that he is a relative of that lady. Then she felt very depressed that what a blunder mistake I did, entertaining my own relative. And she gave up that, and she started again leaving the profession and going on searching here and there. And finally, she goes to another village where she meets the buttermilk sellers, and she also starts selling buttermilk. One day, thieves comes and they stole all the buttermilks, and the sellers, they're very village people, very small charts, no buttermilk. They're very poor people. So that ladies were crying, they're morose and they're crying, and this lady, our heroine, she is not at all crying. So everybody is puzzled. We lost all our income, we lost buttermilk, and we are crying, and you are not crying. They come and ask that lady, why you are not crying? Then she reveals her story. She was a lady at so-and-so place. She got married to a king. She had a lot of wealth. She ran away with the lover and lover died. All stories she's going on telling it. Okay. In this story, the lesson for us is Krishna is our husband. Okay. We are a living entity like a queen. Okay. Krishna is our husband. Living entity reject Krishna. We rejected Krishna and running away behind the Maya, that is lover. Okay. And we pass through so many difficulties because of Maya. No? We are not happy here. We are always suffering. Get association of, finally what happened? Chas ladies, that buttermilk lady, we get association of a devotees. Finally we getting it. In the association of devotees, some difficulties will be arises. Here also like a thief, no, he stole the buttermilk. in the association of devotees also we come across some difficulties. And these difficulties are less burden than actual thing. That these difficulties are loss of buttermilk like. Okay. The compassion of difficult time are the memorial. The difficulties we experience is the association of devotee. We see the whole holistic view of the thing. The loss of buttermilk is nothing. So when you compare external, that's what very advanced devotees know how much trouble comes in the association during the journey of devotee. They take it as a insignificant. They won't react. They are very tolerant because it is equal to that loss of the buttermilk. When a whole episode, so much of difficulty they pass through that. So this was by remembering this, one can maintain the stability of one's consciousness. It's a very good lesson. How that heroine is a very stable mind. Similarly, a devotee also, when you practice it, when you pass through that with this lesson, we can also be stable in any situation. We should not agitate and get angry and curse or react to the thing. Best part is to forgive the devotee. Tantra SrimadBhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. Any doubts, any clarification?